Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to the revision lecture of our chapter number 8 Body Movement. In the last lecture, we have seen the overview of chapter number 8 from the textbook, right? So today we are going to see this chapter in detail through the help of PPT. So first we have seen joints, right? We are able to bend or rotate our body in places where two parts of our body seems to be joined together, okay? Like elbow, shoulder or neck. These places are called joint. So now we know the definition of joints, right? The next we have is ball and socket joints. There are many types of joints. The first one is ball and socket joint. In the PPT, you can see the picture of ball and socket joint. The next is pivotal joint. Now what is pivotal joint? The joint where our neck joins the head is a pivotal joint. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to our right or left only up to 180 degree, not 360. Okay, remember this. The next we have is hinge joint. The elbow has a hinge joint that allows us only a back and forth movement. This type of joint only allows us back and forth movement. The hinge joint is also present at our door. You can see that joint also. It allows only back and forth movement. The next joint we have is fixed. In the picture you can see where the fixed joint can be seen. Some joint between bones in our head are different from those we have discussed so far. The bones cannot move at this joint. This is a type of fixed joint. Okay. So summarizing the joints, we have ball and socket joint, pivotal joint, hinge joint and a fixed joint. The next we have is skeleton. All the bones in our body form a framework to give a shape to our body. All the bones which are in our body together form a shape to our body. This framework is called skeleton. Here in this slide you can see a 3D figure of the skeleton. This is how it looks. The next we have is rib cage. We see that ribs are curiously bent. They join the chest bone and the backbone together to form the box. This is called the rib cage. There are 12 ribs on each side of the chest. Some important internal part of our body lie protected inside the cage. So here you can see the picture also. The next is backbone. It is made up of many small bones called vertebrae. The backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. The total backbone is formed of total 33 vertebrae. The rib cage is joined to this bone. Here in the picture you can see the shoulder bone. It is present over the shoulder. This is pelvic bone. Okay, so far we have seen rib cage, backbone, shoulder bone, pelvic bone. Okay, in the skeleton you can see, here you can see this is rib cage, this is our pelvic bone, this is our shoulder bone. Okay, on the back side we can see this one, backbone. This is the backbone which has 32 vertebrae. This is the shoulder bone. Okay, here you can see the hinge joint. The next we have is gait of animals. Now what do we mean by gait? Gait is the pattern of the movement of the limbs, an arm or leg of a person or four-legged animal. Limbs means an arm or a leg. Gait is the pattern of movement of that leg or arm of the animal. So the definition is gait is the pattern of movement of the limbs of animals including humans. So how do we walk? How do we run? That we will see in the gait of animals. The first animal is earthworm. The body of an earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. An earthworm does not have any bones. It has muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. During movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by a small distance. Repeating such muscle expansion and contraction, the earthworm can move through soils. Its body secretes a slimy substance to help the movement. So from this figure, you can understand how the earthworm moves. Okay, this is how the movement of earthworm is seen. The next we have is snail. Here you can see firstly the 3D figure of the snail. This is called the shell and it is the outer skeleton of the snail. Here you can see the outer skeleton of the snail, but it is not made up of bone. Okay, snail has no bone. The shell is a single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. This is only for the living purpose, not for the movement purpose. It has to be dragged alone. Place the snail on the glass plate and watch it. When it starts moving, carefully lift the glass plate along with the snail over your head. Observe its movements from beneath. Okay, a structure and the head of the snail may come out at the opening of the shell. The thick structure is its food made up of strong muscle. First, this head will go inside the snail or inside this skeleton, and then again it will come out. So by this way the snail will move forward. Here you can see the 3D figure. The next topic we have is cockroach. Cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air. They have 3 pairs of legs. So how many total legs? 6. This help in walking. The body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. So here you can see the outer skeleton. This one is the hard outer skeleton of the cockroach. This outer skeleton is made up of number of plates joined together and that permits movement. There are 2 pairs of wings attached to the body behind head. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the legs for walking. The body muscles move the wings when the cockroach flies. The next we have is birds. Birds fly in the air and walk on the ground. Some birds like duck and swan also swim in the water. The bird can fly because their body are well suited for flying. Their bones are hollow and light. Likewise, the human bones are heavy and the bird's bones are hollow and light. The bones of the hind limbs are typically for walking and perching. Here you can see this type of hind limbs. Okay, the bony part of the forelimbs are modified as wings. The shoulder bones are strong. The breast bones are modified to hold muscle of flight which are used to move the wings up and down. The next we have is fish. We have studied this earlier also. Have you noticed that the shape of the bot is somewhat like a fish? They have the streamlined body. Now what do we mean by streamlined body? The body which has pointed corner at it both ends. Okay, the head and tail of the fish are smaller than the middle portion of the body. The body tapers at both ends. This body shape is called streamlined. The shape is such that water can flow around it easily and allow the fish to move in water. The skeleton of fish is covered with the strong muscles. During swimming, muscles make the front part of the body curve to one side and the tail swing towards the opposite side. Here you can see the first part. Here the first part will move along this direction and the next part will move along the opposite direction. The fish form a curve as shown in figure 8.24. Then quickly the body and the tail curve to the other side. This make a jerk and push the body forward. A series of such jerks make the fish swim ahead. This is helped by the fins of the tail. Fish also have other fins on their body which mainly help to keep the balance of the body and to keep direction while swimming. And the last we have is snake. The snake body curves into many loops. Each loop of the snake give it a forward push by pressing against the ground. Since its long body make loop and each loop give its push. The snake moves forward very fast and not in a straight line. Here you can see the 3D figure of the snake also. This is how the snakes look from the downside. Okay, so here we end our today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will start another chapter for the revision. Thank you.